The discovery of water planets. In a distant galaxy, the spaceship Eagle 1 soared through the stars, its sleek silver hull glinting against the black void of space. Captain Zara, a brave and curious leader, stood at the command console. She was known for her adventurous spirit, always seeking out the unknown. Her crew, a diverse group of humans, shared her passion for exploration. They were eager to uncover the mysteries of the universe. One day, as they navigated through a cluster of shimmering stars, the ship's sensors detected something unusual. "Captain, we're picking up readings from a nearby system," reported Jake, the ship's navigator. His eyes sparkled with excitement. "It looks like there are several planets in this system, and they all seem to have large bodies of water." Zara leaned closer to the screen, her interest piqued. The planets appeared blue and green, with swirling clouds above them. "Water planets," she repeated, a smile spreading across her face. "We need to check them out." The crew buzzed with anticipation. They had heard stories about planets covered in vast oceans, but had never seen one. Water was a precious resource, essential for life. They plotted a course to the nearest planet, which they named Oceania. As they approached Oceania, Zara could feel the excitement in the air. The ship descended through the planet's atmosphere, and the crew marveled at the sight below. The ocean sparkled under the sunlight, reflecting colors of blue and turquoise. But there was something odd about the readings. Zara glanced at her console and noticed the energy levels were off the charts. "Prepare for landing," Zara commanded, her voice steady. "I want a full scan of the area before we go outside." The crew quickly followed her orders, readying the ship for a safe landing on the ocean's surface. Once they touched down, Zara gathered her team. "Let's see what lies beneath the waves," she said, her heart racing with excitement. They equipped themselves with advanced diving suits and underwater vehicles designed for deep exploration. "Captain, we're ready," said Mia, the ship's engineer. "Let's dive." Zara nodded, her determination strong. The crew entered the underwater vehicles, and with a deep breath, they submerged into the ocean. The water enveloped them, turning the world into a dance of blues and greens. They descended into the depths, where the light from above faded. As they ventured deeper, the ocean revealed its beauty. Colorful coral reefs stretched like vibrant gardens, while schools of fish swam gracefully around them. The crew gasped in awe at the sight. "Look at that," Jake exclaimed, pointing at a massive underwater structure. It looked like a city made of coral, bustling with life. Suddenly, a holographic message flickered in front of Zara. It was from an alien race known as the Zixans. The image was striking, with sharp features and bright blue skin. "Warning: water planets are traps. They are deadly and filled with dangerous creatures." The diplomat's voice echoed. Zara felt a chill run down her spine. They had a reputation for being fierce and protective of their territories. She turned to her crew, who were equally shocked. "Do we believe them?" Maya asked, her voice wavering. Zara took a deep breath, her mind racing. "We cannot let fear hold us back. We are explorers, and we need to discover the truth for ourselves." The crew nodded in agreement, fueled by their captain's courage. With determination, they continued their exploration of the underwater city. The vibrant coral structures twisted and turned, creating a labyrinth of colors and shapes. They soon discovered signs of intelligent life. Strange, beautiful creatures resembling humans, but with gills and fins moved gracefully through the water. The secrets beneath the waves. Captain Zara floated amidst the underwater city, marveling at the shimmering structures made of coral and bioluminescent plants. The Aquarians glided gracefully around her, their smooth movements leaving trails of light in the water. The air was filled with a soft hum, a language of clicks and whistles that echoed through the depths. As they ventured deeper, Zora could feel the excitement and curiosity building within her. The Aquarians seemed eager to share their world, and she was determined to learn as much as possible. With her crew by her side, She communicated through gestures, trying to bridge the gap between their worlds. The lead Aquarian, whose name Zara learned was Lyra, swam closer. Her bright blue eyes sparkled with intelligence. "You seek knowledge, but what do you know of the waters?" she asked, her voice a soothing melody. Zara thought for a moment. "We know that water is essential for life. On Earth, it nurtures our plants, quenches our thirst, and supports countless species. But why do others fear it?" Lyra paused, her expression turning serious. "Many believe the waters hide dangers. Creatures beyond imagination lurk in the depths. But we have learned to coexist with them." Zara's curiosity deepened. "What kinds of creatures? Are they truly as dangerous as they say?" Lyra nodded, and with a flick of her wrist, she gestured for Zara to follow. The crew trailed behind as she led them through an intricate maze of coral structures. They passed vibrant gardens of kelp, swaying gently with the current. The colors were mesmerizing, and Zara's heart raced with excitement. Suddenly, Lyra stopped near a large open cavern. "This is the Hall of Echoes," she announced. Inside, the walls shimmered with a strange light, and the sound of their voices reverberated like music. "Here, we gather to share stories and learn from one another." Zara felt a rush of warmth. "We have something similar on our planet. We tell tales of our adventures and dreams." She turned to her crew, who were equally captivated. As they began to exchange stories, Zara felt a bond forming. The Aquarians shared tales of their ancestors, who had navigated treacherous waters and battled fearsome sea monsters. In turn, Zara spoke of humanity's journey through space, their triumphs and struggles, and their thirst for exploration. The connection between the two species grew stronger, but Zara sensed an undercurrent of tension. The Aquarians glanced nervously toward the cave entrance, as if they were expecting something ominous. "What's wrong?" Zara asked, her voice soft. Lyra looked hesitant. "We fear that the Zixans will not tolerate. These waters belong to them, and outsiders are not welcome." Zara felt a wave of concern. The Zixans had warned them about the dangers of the water planets, but could their fear of humans escalate into something more? "What do we do if they come here?" Lyra sighed. "We must be cautious. If the Zixans find us together, they might see it as a threat. They value power and dominance over cooperation." Determined to protect this newfound friendship, Zara devised a plan. "We need to show the Zixans that humans and Aquarians can coexist peacefully. If we can earn their trust, we might prevent any conflict." The Aquarians nodded, appreciating her courage. With renewed energy, Zara led her crew and their new friends back to the surface, where they would communicate with the Zixans and share their intention for peaceful relations. Upon reaching the surface, Zara activated the communication system on the Eagle One. The bright blue sky opened up above them, contrasting sharply with the dark ocean below. She sent a message to the Zixans, requesting a meeting to discuss their exploration of Oceania. Hours passed as they awaited a response, and tension filled the air. The Aquarians swam nervously around the ship, occasionally glancing at the horizon. Finally, a ship emerged from the depths, sleek and imposing, resembling a predatory creature of the sea. It was a Zixan cruiser, its metallic surface glimmering menacingly. "Here they come," Mia whispered, her voice tinged with anxiety. Zara took a deep breath, steeling herself for the encounter. As the Zixan cruiser approached, it docked beside the Eagle One. Zara felt a mixture of excitement and fear, unsure of how the meeting would unfold. The hatch of the Zixan ship opened, revealing a tall figure with sharp features and glowing blue skin. It was Ambassador Excel, the same Zixan diplomat who had warned them about the waters. "You have dared to enter our territory," Excel stated, his voice cold and authoritative. "What do you want, humans?" Zara stepped forward, her heart racing. "We come in peace, Ambassador. We seek to understand this world and share knowledge with the Aquarians. We believe in cooperation, not conflict." Zell's eyes narrowed as he listened. The waters are dangerous, and your presence here threatens our dominion." Zara stood tall, refusing to back down. "We wish to build a bridge between our worlds. The Aquarians are not our enemies, nor are they yours. We can learn from each other." Zell contemplated her words, his expression inscrutable. "You are bold, human, but bravery does not guarantee safety in these waters." As tension hung in the air, Lyra swam closer, her voice steady. "Ambassador, we can demonstrate that our worlds can coexist. Together, we can explore the depths and protect what we love." Zell's gaze flickered between Zara and Lyra. After a long pause, he replied, "You will have one chance to prove this alliance. But know this, failure will have consequences." Zara felt a spark of hope. "Thank you, Ambassador. We will do everything we can to prove our intentions." As the Zixan ship departed, Zara turned to her crew and the Aquarians. "We have a chance to forge a new future. Let's show them the beauty of cooperation." With determination, the team prepared for the next stage of their adventure. They would dive deeper into the mysteries of the ocean, revealing the wonders that lay beneath the waves while building a bridge between species that had once been divided by fear. Together, they would face the unknown and discover the true power of unity. The Zixan's Challenge. The underwater city bustled with activity as Zara and her crew returned from their harrowing adventure in the Trench of Shadows. The Aquarians celebrated their return, but there was an underlying tension in the air. The Zixans had been watching closely, and Zora could sense that they were not pleased with the alliance forming between humans and Aquarians. Zara gathered her team for a meeting in the command center of the city. The room was filled with holographic displays showing the latest data collected from their expedition. The glow of the screens illuminated the determined faces of her crew. "We learned a lot about the trench and the creature that guards it," Zora began, her voice steady. "But we must now turn our attention to the Zixans. They see our cooperation as a threat, and we need to be prepared for their response." Mia, the team's tech expert, leaned forward, her brow furrowed with concern. "We've intercepted some communications. The Zixans are planning a demonstration of power to intimidate us. They want to show that they are still in control of these waters." "Intimidation," Zara replied, her expression grim. "We need to demonstrate our strength too. We cannot back down now." Just then, Lyra entered the room, her face a mix of worry and determination. "I've heard rumors among my people. The Zixans are planning to launch an assault on the underwater city. They want to scare the Aquarians into abandoning their alliance with us." Zora clenched her fists, anger coursing through her veins. "They underestimate us. We need to unite our forces and prepare for whatever they throw at us. This is our home now, and we will protect it." As Zora laid out a plan for their defense, the atmosphere shifted. Everyone felt a sense of purpose, a commitment to stand together against the Zixans. They divided into teams, preparing for a possible confrontation. Lyra and Mia worked on creating advanced defensive systems, while Zora trained her crew in combat tactics and underwater navigation. The following days were filled with preparations. The Aquarians showcased their unique combat techniques, teaching Zora's team how to maneuver effectively in the water. They practiced drills and learned to work in sync, forming a bond that would strengthen their alliance. Then, one morning, an alarm blared through the city. Zara rushed to the command center, her heart racing. "What's happening?" she shouted. Mia quickly assessed the situation. "We've detected Zixan ships approaching at high speed. They're coming right for us." Zara's mind raced. "Prepare the defenses. We must be ready for them." As the Zixan fleet drew closer, a sense of urgency filled the air. Zara took her place at the helm of the command center, coordinating the crew's efforts. She could see the massive, menacing ships on the holographic displays, their dark hulls looming like shadows in the depths of the ocean. "Zixan ships are deploying," Lyra shouted, pointing at the screen. "They're launching some sort of underwater drones." The drones scattered through the water, their sleek bodies gliding effortlessly. "Prepare to engage," Zara commanded. We will not let them intimidate us. The Aquarian warriors, equipped with their bioluminescent weapons, took their positions alongside Zora's crew. As the drones approached, a fierce battle erupted in the water. Blasts of energy erupted, lighting up the dark depths as both sides fought fiercely. Zara led her team with courage, guiding them through the chaos. She watched as Lyra expertly maneuvered her Aquarian allies, using the terrain of the underwater city to their advantage. Keep moving, Zara shouted. We need to outsmart them. But just as they began to gain the upper hand, a massive Zixan warship emerged from the shadows. Its presence was overwhelming, dwarfing everything around it. We need to take that ship down, Zara yelled, determination burning in her eyes. Mia quickly tapped on her console. I have an idea. If we can overload its systems, we can disable it. Then let's do it, Zara shouted, rallying her crew. Focus all our firepower on that ship. As the crew unleashed their attacks, Zara felt a surge of hope. The Zixans would not break their spirit. They fought with everything they had, and slowly they began to weaken the warship's defenses. The Zixan ship retaliated, firing energy blasts that illuminated the water around them. Zara could feel the pressure of the battle weighing down on them, but she refused to back down. Push forward. We can't let them intimidate us. Finally, Mia's plan came to fruition. I'm sending a pulse to overload their systems, she shouted. The energy burst shot toward the Zixan ship, striking it with a blinding flash. For a moment, everything fell silent. Then the Zixan ship erupted in a shower of sparks and debris. The crew cheered as they saw the massive vessel falter, drifting aimlessly in the water. Zara felt a wave of relief wash over her. We did it, but this isn't over yet. The Zixans will retaliate. Just then, a holographic transmission flickered to life in front of them. A Zixan commander appeared on the screen, his expression filled with fury. You think you have won. This is just the beginning. We will not allow you to challenge our dominance. Zara stood tall, refusing to show fear. We are not afraid of you. We will fight for our alliance, and we will protect our home. The Zixan commander sneered. Then prepare for the consequences. With that, the transmission cut off, leaving a tense silence in the command center. Zara turned to her crew, her expression resolute. We've proven our strength today, but we must remain vigilant. The Zixans will not give up easily, and we must be ready for whatever comes next. As the crew regrouped, a sense of unity filled the air. They had faced their first challenge together, and they would face many more. Together, they would stand strong against the Zixans and protect their newfound alliance, no matter the cost. The final showdown. The days following the successful ambush in the cave were a blur of preparation and vigilance. The Zixan fleet had retreated for the time being, but Zara and her crew knew it was only a temporary reprieve. The alien force would return, and when they did, they would come in full strength. Zara stood at the helm of the command center, staring at the large holographic display of the ocean. The fleet had regrouped and was heading straight for their city. She clenched her fists, the weight of the coming battle pressing on her shoulders. Mia approached her, her voice steady but laced with concern. The fleet will be here within hours. They're bringing everything they have. We need a plan, and we need it fast. Zara nodded. We have the home advantage, but we can't win by brute force alone. We need to outthink them. This is our world, our waters. We have to make that count. Lyra joined them, carrying a tablet with reports of their current defenses. The Aquarians have set up traps along the trench, and we've positioned our forces to defend the city. But they are relentless. We need something more, something they won't expect. Zara's mind raced as she looked over the holographic map. The trench, the deep, winding underwater canyon that stretched for miles beyond the city. It was treacherous and full of dangerous creatures that even the feared. An idea began to form in her mind. What if we lure them into the trench? Zara said, her voice filled with sudden inspiration. "They don't know these waters like we do. If we can get them to chase us into the trench, we can use the natural hazards and the creatures that live there to our advantage." Mia raised an eyebrow. "It's risky. The trench is dangerous for us too." "I know," Zora replied, "but it's our best shot. If we stay and fight them head-on, we'll be overwhelmed. But if we can use the trench, we might just have a chance to turn the tide in our favor." Lyra nodded in agreement. "It's a good plan. The trench is unpredictable, and if we control the environment, we can force them into a position where their superior numbers won't matter." Zora looked at her crew, feeling the weight of the decision. This was their last stand. If they failed, they would crush everything they had worked for. But if they succeeded, they could cripple the alien invaders once and for all. "All right," Zora said, her voice firm. "Let's make it happen." The hours leading up to the battle were a whirlwind of activity. Zora's crew worked tirelessly to set up decoys and traps along the edge of the trench. The Aquarians, with their intimate knowledge of the ocean's currents and creatures, guided them, helping to prepare the battlefield. As the fleet drew closer, Zara gathered her team for one final briefing. "This is it," she said, her voice steady despite the tension in the air. "We've faced them before, and we've come out stronger. But now we need to be smarter. We're going to lead them into the trench, and once they're in, we'll spring our trap. Stay focused, stay together, and trust in each other. We can do this." Her team nodded, their faces determined. There was no turning back now. The fleet appeared on the horizon, a massive wall of ships that blotted out the light from above. Their sleek black forms cut through the water like predators on the hunt. Zara's heart pounded in her chest, but she forced herself to remain calm. This was the moment they had been preparing for. "Here they come," Maya said, her voice barely a whisper. Zara activated her comms, speaking to both the human and Aquarian forces. "All units prepare to engage. Stick to the plan. Let's lead them into the trench." The first wave of Zixan ships charged forward, their weapons glowing with energy. Zara's team held their positions, waiting for the perfect moment. Then, as the Zixans opened fire, Zara gave the order. "Now, fall back into the trench." The human and Aquarian forces scattered, retreating into the dark, twisting canyon below. The Zixans, sensing victory, followed in pursuit, unaware of the dangers that awaited them. As the Zixan fleet entered the trench, the traps set by Zora's team began to spring. Explosions rocked the narrow passageways, collapsing parts of the canyon and trapping several Zixan ships. The creatures that lived in the trench, massive predators that had evolved in the deep, sensed the disturbance and attacked the invading ships with ferocity. Zara watched from a distance as the chaos unfolded. The Zixan fleet was in disarray, their ships struggling to navigate the treacherous waters. The once organized armada was now a panicked swarm, fighting not just the humans and Aquarians, but the very ocean itself. "It's working," Maya said, her voice filled with awe. "They're getting torn apart down there." Zara allowed herself a small smile, but the battle wasn't over yet. The Zixan flagship, a massive warship bristling with weapons, loomed at the edge of the trench. It hadn't fallen into the trap, and now it was preparing to fire on the city. "We need to take out that flagship," Zora said, her mind racing. "It's the heart of their fleet. If we destroy it, the rest will fall apart." Lyra nodded. "We'll have to get in close. Its shields are too strong for a long-range attack." Zora looked at her team, knowing what had to be done. "All right, let's finish this." In a final daring move, Zara and her team launched a direct assault on the Zixan flagship. Dodging enemy fire and weaving through the chaos of battle, they closed in on the massive ship. With precision strikes, they targeted its weak points, and after a tense and brutal fight, the flagship's shields collapsed. Zara fired the final shot, and the Zixan flagship exploded in a brilliant flash of light. The remaining Zixan ships, leaderless and in disarray, scattered and fled, their invasion broken. Zara and her team floated in the aftermath of the battle, their hearts heavy with exhaustion but filled with pride. They had done it. They had defended their home, and for the first time in months, there was a sense of peace. "We did it," Maya said softly, her voice filled with relief. Zara nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "Yeah, we did." As they swam back to their city, Zara looked out at the vast ocean around her. They had won this battle, but she knew the fight wasn't over. They would return one day, and there would always be new challenges to face. But for now, they had proven their strength, and as long as they stood together, there was nothing they couldn't overcome.